So it's the 9th of June and we've already done about £29,000 so far this month in the business, which is actually 10 grand behind last month, which was the best ever start to the month that we'd ever had. We did about 39,000 quid in the first 8 days, which was great. And we're consistently hitting $100,000 a month in this business, and I don't feel any different. I don't feel to be working any harder, and I don't feel that there's anything radically different about my mindset to business than when I was struggling to make 5, 6, 7 grand a month as a PT. I actually feel like in those days I was working harder because I was doing a hybrid between personal training and online coaching. And I want to make this video for people who are at that sort of 5, 6, 7k per month mark, and they're thinking that there needs to be this radical life transformation and alteration to go through, and that people who are at that $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month mark are like superhumans, like just these figures that just mustn't be made out of the same stuff that we are, or that how possibly could they be making so much money, and think that it is a level beyond where they are. The first thing that you need to do, which is something that you'll hear from everybody, is the belief that there is anything outside of you, right, that is responsible for getting to $100,000 a month, and that it's not all inside of you, is a fabrication. Nothing human is alien to you. If it is humanly possible for me and my friends to do it, right, if it's humanly possible for other people to do more of it, then it is not alien to you. What is alien to you right now is what a business feels like at that level of revenue, what things that you have to do, and how much hard work it requires. So, if you have validated that your service can get clients, if you have validated that you can sell, but you just don't know how to go further, it is quite simple. There is input, throughput, and output. Your output at the moment is roughly 10 grand a month. Let's call it that. Your throughput is the mechanism that you use to monetize when people are inside of your system, whether it's sales call, whether it's internal revenue, whatever it is. And your input is the amount of leads that are coming through. If you, all things being considered, doubled your inputs, would your outputs double? Well, that would depend if your throughputs would hold. What I mean by that is that if you double the amount of qualified leads coming through, do you have the capacity to handle those people that are coming through in an efficient manner? If the answer is yes, then you get the output that you want. If you tripled your lead flow, can you say the same? If you quadrupled your lead flow, can you say the same? In the early days, what you need to do is get to a point where you identify at what point is this business going to break when I start generating more leads, and generate leads up to that point. It's not a science. You just need to know that I've got another 2 or 3x amount of lead flow that I could deal with in this business, sales calls that I could take, clients that I could handle before anything would break at this current pricing volume, and you get yourself there as quickly as possible. So that means that you're focusing on generating more high quality leads through better content and running more ads. You either post content every single day, multiple times per day, that is congruent with your ideal client profile, or that you run more ads and you find the money to make it happen. Your budget for everything when you're broke, because 10 grand a month is broke in business, I don't care if it's all profit, and if it's all profit, you've got even less of a reason to dispute what I'm saying. Everything should go into generating more leads. And then when you generate more leads and you get yourself to the point where you're busy, you then go back to the input, throughput, and output analysis and identify that, okay, I can't generate any more inputs because my throughput is going to break. At now what point do I want to change the way that my throughput is structured so I can handle more clients? So you invest in systems, you invest in coaches, you invest in staff. And once you get to that point, okay, I can't take any more leads through, my staff are maxed out, maybe it's time to increase my prices. So you're always changing your input and your throughput to create the output that you want. An online coaching business that teaches successful entrepreneurs how to get in shape, manage their time, and have a life that is congruent professionally and personally. That could be an offer doing $5,000 a month, or it could be an offer doing $5 million a month. And I believe that there is an offer in that space doing actually $5 million a month. The actual core tenet of the business, which is the promise, is no different. But as opposed to in person A, the $5,000 a month offer, him being the sole operator in the business, in person B, it's just somebody who's got hundreds of staff probably in his business. There is no difference. What happens is that you have to evolve. The mindset that you need in order to comfortably make the decisions that are simple, but make the decisions that require clarity under duress becomes more difficult. Right now, I have a mass amount of issues going on. Huge. I've got an £11,500 contract over 4 months that I fucked up on straight out the gate because I forgot to tell them that the CRM was going to be an extra cost. I've got ad spend that hasn't been on for 2 weeks because our funnel was broken and our messaging was out of alignment. So we have no new revenue coming in, so our MRR is in the distance already fading away. I have issues in this business, but the answer to them is quite simple. Input, throughput, output. Which input and which throughput need to change in order for me to get the output that I want? And it was as simple as it was when I was doing 5, 6, 7, 8,000 a month. The only thing that changes is there's more variables, but you don't respect or acknowledge the capacity of that brain of yours. You are elite. We are the most elite ever phase of humanity there has ever been, with AI support and an infinite amount of information at your fingertips. Your issue is your ability to discern between what you should be focusing on and what you shouldn't be focusing on to get you to that next level. And what you should be focusing on is doing more of the thing you're doing and finding the ability to do more of the thing you're doing, trusting that you're going to make more money at the end of it. Right? It's not going, shit, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. Stop that, because you do. Input, throughput. When you can only focus on the things that actually matter, you realize that no matter how much more revenue you generate, those things never change. But there becomes more duress on your decision-making process. People depend on you. There's risk. My costs in this business are fucking dramatic. So, the decision-making process is still the same. And the sooner you come to realise that, and the earlier on in your journey that you accept that, the more comfortably and easily you're going to scale.